Everything is perfect about MacBook and macOS in general, especially for architects. The battery, the screen, the trackpad, the stability, it is just a great daily machine. But the moment you step into BIM workflows, reality hit. A lot of offices run on Autodesk Revit and Revit is Windows only. So if you are on an Apple Silicon Mac, the big question becomes, can you run Revit properly without buying a separate Windows laptop? In this video, I'll show you a complete guide to running Revit on Mac with Apple Silicon using Parallels Desktop. We will cover what you need, how to set it up step by step, and the settings that actually matter for performance. I'm also an architect and I'm doing this on my own machine. This is a 16-inch MacBook Pro with M3 Max chip with 16 cores and 48 GB of memory. So let's see how it works. Hey, Shivam here, and if you would like to try out Parallels Desktop, you can do so from the trial link in the description below. First, the core limitation. Revit does not work natively on macOS. That is why architects end up buying a machine that they don't want to buy, a Windows laptop. Or they also end up with a remote desktop on a Windows workstation. A remote desktop can be fine for light tasks, but for BIM it often feels like you're working through a layer of delay. A separate Windows laptop works, but it is extra cost, extra maintenance, and you are constantly moving files between two devices. Virtualization is the option that keeps your Mac workflow intact while still giving you Windows for Revit. So let's see what you need to run Revit on your Mac machine. First up, you need the right foundation because Revit is not a lightweight app. For hardware, you need Apple Silicon Mac with enough RAM and storage. If you have 16 GB of memory, you can still do this, but you must be realistic with the performance. Smaller models, coursework, basic documentation, it can be okay. Complex models with heavy links and a lot of materials and views will feel limited. With 32 GB of RAM, it becomes much more comfortable. Storage is also important. Windows plus updates plus Revit plus project files can get large. If your Mac drive is almost full, you will run into slowdowns and sometimes weird installation issues. So before you start, make sure you have healthy amount of free space. For software, you need a support version for macOS, Parallels Desktop 26, a legitimate Windows 11 license, and your Autodesk access to download and activating Revit. If you rely on add-ons, collect those installers too, because the goal is not just opening Revit, the goal is running your actual workflow. Download and install Parallels Desktop on your Mac, which is pretty straightforward, and get through the first run guide. And the software will guide you through the installation. When it prompts you, install the integrated tools as well. Do it because this is what enables good display behavior, clipboard sharing, and smoother input. Now create a new Windows virtual machine. Name it clearly something like Windows 11 or Windows 11 Revit, so it's easy to organize. Now before we install everything, go into the VM setting and confirm. We will be able to adjust the CPU, RAM, and graphics later. Once you are inside Windows 11, run the Windows update early. This sounds boring, but it saves a lot of headaches later. Update, restart, and make sure Windows is stable before installing Revit. Now inside the Windows 11 VM, installing Revit is quite easy. You simply get to the Autodesk, download the setup, and run it like you normally would on a Windows PC. Sign in, confirm the licensing and everything, and launch it once. I recommend opening a sample project first and doing a quick reality check. Orbit it, zoom it, open a few views, and switch between sheets and 3D views. If this feels like broken at this stage, fix performance settings now before you add templates, libraries, and add-in. This is the section that turns it, runs, and into I can actually use this for architecture work. Inside Parallels Desktop, you can allocate CPU and RAM to your Windows VM. The goal is to give Revit what it needs without starving macOS. On my M3 Max, I can allocate a solid amount of Windows core and RAM to keep macOS smooth. If you are on 16 GB total, you have to conservative and keep fewer apps open on the Mac side while working with the Revit. If you feel lag, slow view changes, or constant stuttering, the first thing to revisit is CPU and RAM allocation. The second thing is how much background load you have on your macOS. Now Revit is visual and even simple navigation feels terrible if graphics are misconfigured. Parallels Desktop highlights supports for DirectX 11, which helps with rendering and visualization workflows in Windows apps. So in VM settings, keep display scaling sensible so Revit UI is readable on high-resolution MacBook Pro display. If orbiting looks choppy, view changes glitches, or the UI looks odd, check graphics settings first, then check Windows display scaling. A lot of Revit feels like unstable complaints come from display and graphic configuration. Revit plus Windows plus macOS already a heavy stack. If you are also running video exports, massive cloud sync, or dozens of heavy Chrome tabs, performance will drop. My approach is simple. When I'm serious for the Revit session, I treat it like a focus mode, close anything you don't need on the Mac side, keep Windows startup clean, and avoid doing huge downloads or sync operations while you are trying to work. Also, one useful improvement in the Parallels Desktop 26 line is better disk space visibility for Windows VMs, so Windows can see true available disk space on the Mac. This helps reduce issues where large installs can push your Mac into low disk behavior, which can cause slowdowns and instability. Now, the daily workflow: you open Parallels Desktop app, start your Windows VM and launch Revit like normal. If you want a more integrated feel, you can use the coherence mode, which lets Windows apps appear more like they are part of macOS. For architects, this is useful because you can keep Revit open while using your Mac native tools like emails, reference images, notes, or PDFs without feeling like you're switching between operating systems. For compatibility, keep your office setup clean. Templates, families, shared parameters, and linked models should live in the predictable folder structure. If you use add-ins, install them one by one and test. That way, if something breaks, you know exactly what caused it. One more practical note: Autodesk on Mac is mixed. Some Autodesk tools exist on macOS, but in many offices, the Windows workflows are the standard. For example, AutoCAD for Mac exists, but it's feature limited compared to Windows in multiple areas. And tools like Revit are Windows only, which is exactly why the setup is valuable. So that is the complete guide. Revit is Windows only, but on the Apple Silicon Mac, you can still run it effectively by using Parallels Desktop. Installing Windows 11 properly, installing Revit inside the VM, and then tuning the RAM, CPU, and storage and graphics card settings for workload. On my system, this setup is genuinely practical for real architect workflow, not just for demos. If you want, I can do a follow-up video where I can share recommended settings for different Mac configurations or any query that you might have you want me to make video about. Let me know in the comments below. For now, check the description for trial link. However, that's it for today. Now, if you're looking to play games on your Mac machine, then you can check out this video. And if you are looking for a web-based vector design software, then check out CorelDRAW Go from here. Like, share, subscribe. Stay safe. Bye-bye.